don't know about you guys, but that binner game was like, I don't know, like, it's something about me, like, it's good to have people cheering you.
Yeah.
But, like, having people, like, cheering against you.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, especially if you're playing against the Benar guys, because they
I love them.
Force.
I love them.
Awesome.
You know, I love them. You know, shout out Benar. But, you know, I remember there was this one play where I hit a 3 in the first, and, like, you know, everyone was just quiet, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone just
You love that. No,
I love that. I love that. You know, I love that. And then all of a sudden they go down there and they hit a nice little layup, and then everyone goes crazy. And, you know, you got Shaq coming down and yamming it on someone. You got Jake coming in and just crossing up people, and everyone's quiet, and then, you know.
All right, guys, we are getting into 2023, a new episode of Sit Down with Coach. It's been a while. We've sat down with Shaq and Theron in the past, bringing Justin King into this frame as we're having a bit of an off-season work and getting into it for the new season. Today, I want to just touch base with these guys on what's been going on with them. There's been some growth in terms of family and opportunities and stuff that have come up over the past year. And we're going to get into, now we're into the third, fourth season of the NBL 1, transitioning from the SBL leagues. I want to just have a talk to some players and see what's changed, what's going on, how they're finding that transition, and see where it's looking like it's going in the future. And then we're going to wrap up because these guys pulled up on a Summer Jam this year in Perth. So we'll have a little chat about that, how it went. And that should be as good to go. So fellas, thank you very much for joining me today, taking some time out.
Thanks for having us,
Thank
man.
you.
All right, we're going to start here with Shaq because, man, you've been overseas playing ball, getting some stuff done. So talk to me about China, man.
China kind of crept up on me a little bit. It was obviously it was a last minute thing. I'd come back from London. I went to a wedding in London and then came back, and I messaged my agent. I said, look, is it still on the table? Because I know they had 21-day quarantine, and then it got down to 14, and I was like, oh, I'm not trying to do it. But then, it got to that point, I'm trying to figure out what to do, and I was like, let's just make the move, do it. Did the quarantine, and it was during COVID, so we were in a bubble. So it was condensed into about 8 to 10 weeks.
Oh, wow.
The season, and I was there for a total of 3 months.
Yeah. Jeez, how was living before the basketball? How was just living inside a bubble, being stuck with like the same people every day, and just it feels weird because we didn't have to we got stuck here in WA, but we didn't have to really stay in a bubble.
Yeah, it was honestly cool. It was like we were in hotels, so it was like really nice hotels. Obviously, the league took it upon themselves to give us like good accommodation. You're around the hoopers all day. Yeah. You go to practice and you have games. So games were pretty much every 2 days. Sometimes you go back to back, so day after day. But you're either practicing or playing a game every day. So you're still out and about. They made conference rooms in the hotels or gyms.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we had weight room. At the end, we got to use like pool and stuff like that. But it was just a lot of traveling. I think last year I took 22 flights.
Damn.
So a lot of flying, a lot of traveling, and believe it or not, like you'd think in hotels you're like, oh, it's cool to be in there, and after like three weeks, it's just like I want to get out because you barely unpack your bag,
Right.
And you're just living with like a small amount of clothes, and you just don't get to relax really. But no, it was a good experience.
That's awesome. Like it sounds very intense. Like although you're in a bubble, it is just basketball. Like,
straight basketball.
Hoop a dream to some extent, but the isolation must be tough on the mental. Did it have any sort of impact on your performance on the court?
No, not really. I feel like I probably thought back to being in Perth and being like, why did I make the decision to come over here? It's like I came here to do this.
Yeah.
It's a job. And really, we are in a position where we're pretty blessed to do what we love and get paid for it. So you kind of just suck it up, those small things. It does get lonely at times. And obviously with China, there was a language barrier.
Yeah.
And the food was different. And, you just kind of, you make do with all that stuff and you just go out and have fun. So the first station was actually tough for me, man, because, being a shooter, I expected to hit a lot more threes. And in that first station, I was just struggling. I think I was like 2 of 20 or something like from 3. I just couldn't get anything to go. And then after that, I don't know, I guess I just found like this new sense of confidence. And I just kind of became a little unconscious. I was like, you know what? I know what I do. I'm just going to do it.
Just become numb to it.
Coming off screen, just yakking it. And it's like, started to go. And then I started to get rhythm. And then after that, I got comfortable. And, we were lucky enough to be in a position where we were looking at a championship and going into that last station. And I was playing 4 out of the 6 games. The other foreigner played the other 2.
Okay.
And we were just like, look, let's just get it done, man. Like 150,000 Australian dollars for the winners. So, yeah, we won.
Nice. Good job, man.
So, yeah, it was a great experience. But, all the preliminary stuff, like being in Hong Kong, 3 days hotel quarantine. Then I spent 4 days in Hong Kong. And then as soon as I got to mainland China, 10 days in isolation apartments.
Jeez. Yeah.
3 meals a day, quarantine meals. I was getting things like chicken feet. The meat that was coming to me was like all bones and the veggies were all soggy. It was weird. Like, just different food and stuff. But
man,
yeah.
That's tough.
Got through it though.
Got the job done though, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, awesome.
That's a good effort. But it, like, you knew it was a short period of time and you're like, right, I can suck up these kind of hardships. Like, they're hardships, but they're like first world hardships, really. Because you still got a roof over your head, you're getting fed, you got everything you need given to you there and then.
Yeah.
But it's just uncomfortable.
It is. It is.
Acclimatizing yourself to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's always different in different cultures, especially.
Being a professional basketball player is a grind, and being uncomfortable is something you have to get used to. I mean,
100.
Justin, you know this. How long? I mean, your mum and your sister came over recently, but before that, that's years of not seeing them, right?
Yep. 3 years.
So
3 years.
You just do it.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm gonna move to Justin because Justin out of the guys here, Justin is the import player to Perth. So obviously there's been that transition where not being with family, being on the other side of the ocean, luckily not the language barrier, although American to Australian, there's still some confusion around some stuff. But you just welcomed in some new life into the world. So congratulations, brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Welcome to fatherhood.
Appreciate it, man.
Fatherhood
is
welcome to the gang, boy.
Damn, I'm the only
It's the greatest thing ever, bro.
You got time.
You got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, man.
Plenty of opportunities too.
So how's fatherhood treating you, man?
Man, fatherhood it's almost no words for the experience and the love that you have for your seed. So I'm just enjoying it really day by day, watching them grow, watching them, try to talk, get bigger. Everything is just a day by day experience, and I'm just loving it, bro.
Awesome, man. It is a blessed experience. You've been going through, whilst going through that, you've been undergoing some rehab through the off season. How's that all going?
Yeah, man, everything's been going great. I really wanted to go hard this off season because last off season I feel like I was dealing with some injuries. I mean, you know it, wife being pregnant and all that as well. Like your mind is just in a different place. So I feel like last season wasn't the best season team-wise and individual. So I really wanted to go hard this off season and, working with yourself, working with a few other coaches, and then just like getting my body right has been great. Like right now I'm starting to feel like I'm almost about season ready. So I always feel like it takes 2 to 4 weeks to really get, like individually ready, and then obviously a little bit more time to get ready with the team. So right now, individual-wise, like I'm feeling like I'm almost there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. 6 weeks out.
Yep.
So body's getting there.
It's getting
going
there,
into
bro.
that condition. Now it's time to put into the real preseason.
The conditioning
get
is
into
the
it.
biggest part, I think.
Yeah.
Like especially like I just turned 33, so it's like for me, like I feel like I had to work a little bit harder this off season just to get, because I feel like I put on a little weight over the last year, and then now I'm starting to drop a few pounds and like shape back up. But it's I've had to really put in a certain routine, especially with a baby. So like I'm utilizing my early mornings a lot better than what I used to, which I feel like is like that routine has been working out good for me.
Yeah. So on the court, you're looking in much better condition than you were before Christmas and when we started getting on it. So there's less, the movement's smoother.
Yeah.
For me, that's when I'm working with you, that's one of my biggest things is I don't want to do all this work with you and get you ready and then the movement's not be right and you get hurt for some stupid reason on the court. Because that movement is so important. I think we should just take a moment on that, like in terms of messages for younger athletes. Like, what a lot of these kids won't realize is the work I do with you is the same work I do with these younger kids in terms of movement control and body control. You just like take a moment. How is some of that slowing down, focusing just on the movement and the control of the body and body position? How are you finding that's benefiting?
Man, in basketball, I feel like that's your foundation, right? So, like, obviously, you want to learn how to dribble, form shooting and things of that nature. But then, like, the movement is that's your foundation to build upon. So if you don't have those little movements and you don't know how to move correctly or, stabilize certain positions and areas of your body, like you said, injuries can come, or if not, like, you just won't get better as a player. You won't get around the quicker defender. You won't get shots up over the high leapers and things of that nature. So I think that's the foundation, and I think that foundation for over the length of your career, no matter how long you play, is important to work on and stay consistent with. So, I love that type of stuff. Like, I love slowing down the game. Like, I'm still a ball player. Like, I do coaching as well, but I still play, so I love to learn. I love different perspectives of the game. So I love, your perspective from the game, and it just, two great basketball minds come together, things happen and things, create.
Yes, sir. We're able to work through situations and find a logical solution to stuff, which is awesome.
And I think with younger players, they, you got to learn that that's what comes first. I feel like nowadays, obviously basketball is everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and most of those are just the highlights. They don't see the grind, the in-between stages, and they step on the court and they go straight to those things.
100%.
So, I always teach, like, this is what we're going to do first. We always talk about it like most of our clients don't even shoot. We don't even work on three-point shots or multiple handle drills. Like, it's first, you got to learn how to do a simple crossover, and you got to get your form right, and you got to build the strength up. And then we can go on to these next steps. So I'll say for young hoopers, like, really channel in and focus on that your foundation first, and then you can do the rest later.
100%. It is super important that stuff comes into play, and it's not stressed enough. And one of the biggest reasons for it, and this brings us so nicely onto Theron, is the injuries that happen in especially knees, ankles, hips. Like, I know so many young people that put all this work in, and they'll come train with me for like a year and they improve a lot, but then it's done a really bad sprain or bad knee injuries, and then we get knocked back years. So speaking of knee injuries, Theron, your rehab that we went through a few years back, and we're not going to go into too much detail on it because we've covered that before. How has that now benefited you as you've gone on to these next stages? Because you were still playing, you're taking some time out in terms of father time and working on your body now. Yeah. So how has that changed your approach to this in the current phase that you're in?
Yeah, look, like, it's something that really opened up my eyes a bit. I think growing up, you always want to run before you can walk, kind of thing. 100%. But that whole process has really taught me that, we got to crawl before we walk. We got to walk before we jog. We got to jog before we run. We got to sprint, kind of thing. So, from my personal experience, it's all about just those little details, the little minute things, and then really working on that and then building a strong foundation to come off that, My surgeon, when I was going through my ACL recon, he was like, once you're ready, you're ready. But you got to make sure to get to that point. There's going to be a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to that point. And, he even straight up said to me, he's like, it's going to suck. It's going to suck. You're going to have days. You're going to have days where you're in the gym and you're all by yourself and you're wondering, man, what the hell is going to happen? But, it was an eye-opener too because, I had a lot of opportunities coming up before I had my knee recon. And, that kind of thing really took a big toll on my mental state of mind. I was getting ready to go over and play over in China too. And, especially when you have that happen to you, you then realize how big your circle is and how small it's going to become. So, it was tough, but, I'm grateful for that, for what happened. I never regret it. It's always an opportunity to open up your eyes and look further into the future.
Yes, sir. And while some of the opportunities changed, you still were able to get opportunities when you moved over east?
Yeah, that was cool. Like I got a real big shout out to Jeremy Kendall. You know, he's playing over there right now. He's playing NBL, and he had an ACL recon too while playing through and through in the pro circuit over there. And you know, I hit him up, and you know, when you go overseas, overstate, and everything like that, you don't really. You know, sometimes you just have to have a leap of faith. And, you know, I messaged him and, you know, I worked out with him for about 3-4 months. And then he became the head coach player of the Pirates NBL 1. I wasn't ready to go play NBL 1 at that time just because I was still trying to get my knee sorted. But I was able to get into that sort of Queensland basketball way and play there and play what's now called QSL, which was the QBL back in the day. And, yeah, it was good. You know, yeah.
So that QSL, from my understanding, that's kind of a step, I don't want to say a step below the NBL 1, but it's for the clubs that I guess weren't included in that merger from state leagues to the National Basketball League 1.
So we had, over in Queensland, we had a bunch of teams that didn't have NBL 1 licenses yet, but still had NBL level talent. So the year that I played QSL 1 with the Brisbane Capitals, we won the state title and we played against Reece Martin, David Gurney, so all NBL seasoned vets. And they were tough. They were real tough, but we had a real good unit and we had a real good coach in Bruce Palmer. He's an NBL Coach of the Year. So, yeah, like, you know, it doesn't matter what level you play at, there's always going to be a great level with you, I guess. And, you know, you just got to look at it that way. You know, some people might look at it as a step down or as an opportunity to either step up to that and then look at it for different options. So, you know, from that playing QSL, I've been given opportunities to play NBL 1 and contracts all over the place. And it's just, you know, it's how you see it, how you see that opportunity in front of you.
Yes, now your body's in. Well, now you're in a bulking stage and getting bigger. And
I'm on that daddy stage.
You're in that daddy stage.
I'm in that daddy stage right now.
Theron's on two little girls. How are your little ones?
They're the love of my life right now. You know, I told my wife, you know, when I first got married to her and I looked at her walking down the aisle, I thought that was like my true love. And then when my first girl came in, I realized that, no, that's my true love. You know, when my girls come in. So Skylar, she's 2.5 and she's a rat bag. She's gonna be a dog, and I love it. I love it.
Yes, sir.
She's got my personality. Oh no, she's got my mouth and my wife's personality. So she's cheeky.
Okay.
She's cheeky.
Yeah. I feel that one.
And we got Kaya. She's 6 months old, and yeah, she's just all over. She was a little potato, and now she's a little human. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
She's crawling around yet?
Yeah, she's crawling around. She's sitting up all by herself, and she's giggling and smiling.
You're about to have 2 movers.
Oh man,
You're about to have 2 movers.
Man, she's a hair puller too. So
okay.
My 2-year-old needs to realize that she can't get too close to her, or she's gonna get her hair pulled. So. That's cool.
Gonna be fun.
And my 2-year-old starting to like basketball too. She went to go see her first Perth Wildcats game yesterday.
Yeah, how did she find that?
She loved it. Had a little power nap during it, but you know, she loved it though. She loved it. Started clapping and playing. So I'm hoping she becomes a ball player too.
That's awesome, man. That's always good.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's get on to the NBL 1 transition. So I can't remember exactly what year it was. The state basketball leagues kind of merged with the National Basketball League, creating the NBL 1. You guys have experienced that transition from either playing in the state basketball leagues before that transition, or at least being involved in those pathways, and are now coming back and being involved in the growth. How have you seen that transition has had a positive effect on the sport, just as a whole, not in specific clubs, but at least within Perth, but across the nation as well in terms of the East Coast? Shall we start with you if you want?
I think it's been good for the leagues to find like a common ground and a common brand, and
facts.
You know, you realize that, as Theron said, people have different perspectives on what league sits where. Now it's NBL 1 and that's it. You know, in their respective conferences and states, and then at the end of the year, you go and play national finals, right? So, and that's when it really shows like who's better than who. And I mean, last year, what happened? 2 WA teams go over and they win it, right? And for how long has it been Melbourne basketball is the best? Melbourne basketball is the best. You know?
Big V.
So it was like that.
That's all I've ever heard since I've been here.
Exactly. And then now it's like, okay, is it really like that? So it raises that level of competitiveness across the country, which is what we need. And as a country, you know, especially like 5-on-5 we're good, but I think 3-on-3 is another thing that's gonna. I know we did talk about that briefly before, but 3-on-3 is another thing that's growing, right?
It's growing
so
massively.
Huge.
Globally.
Competitiveness in whatever league that we have, you know, it will filter down into that different style of basketball in 3-on-3.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity. It's looking professional. I still think there's a lot of work to be done.
Still young.
Yeah, it's still really young. I mean, a lot of Perth teams are associations, which makes it a bit difficult to, I guess, extend their professionalism in a way.
To scale up that level of professionalism.
Exactly.
To that. I guess the goal is so that it's all kind of at that good professional level throughout the club from top through, and then the developments underneath it with the wobble clubs.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if they can make that transition, it will change from a semi-professional league into a professional league. It definitely has the the opportunity to be something big.
It's definitely a player base for it, for sure.
Oh, 100%. It's just got to be, I think there has to be things like paid positions and, for professional structures as if you would have in any sort of organization. And if they can find that, it'll just elevate the league, the level of basketball across Australia.
Yeah,
I think it holds all everyone accountable in their teams and in their conferences and all that. You know, I think personal experience in WA, you know, you had a real big disconnect between the top 8 and the bottom 8.
Okay, yeah.
And now you have a national audience looking at you. You know, it's no longer, what's happening in all over the place. You know, you got what's happening in the NBL 1 West. You know, who's the top 12? Who's this team? Who's coming last? Who's this? You know, there's more eyes on those teams. And now, you know, that's going to bring their accountability up because now they're just like, well, we don't really want to be like that. You know, we don't want to be known as the worst team in the nation, you know, kind
100%.
of thing. So it's really going to help spark that kind of competitiveness that Shaq was talking about.
And talent is just being dispersed across the country, right? Like, I didn't even know that we signed someone, because I'm going to Albury Wodonga, as you know. We signed someone from Bunbury. So now a talented basketball player from Bunbury is now getting an opportunity just because of this NBL 1 platform.
Spreading the wings,
awesome.
man. Spreading the wings.
Yeah. And as you know, I've played in the West, I've played in Central, and now I'll play in the East too. So
good to experience all of these different things. Josh, you've been, I was just going to reframe slightly for you. You, as an import, your experience, I guess, would be slightly different to these guys playing at home. Right. Coming into this league from America and college and growing up through that. How have you seen it from that point of view, the development over the last few years within the competition?
Yeah, man, good question. I think the development has gone. So I'll start when I first got out here, and it was the SBL. I thought the league, I thought it was a lot of talent.
Yeah.
And then I thought it dropped off a bit over the past couple of years. And then now that it's NBL 1, I think the talent level has gone up a bit more. Because I think Shaq just touched on it. Like, even guys from over East are signing out here to NBL 1 West and vice versa. Then you're just getting bigger and better imports as well. I think, you know, a couple guys from the, you know, G League are starting to come over here that have a little bit of experience in that. And then, like, I get hit up every time from guys back home in America, like, yo, anybody looking for, you know, like solid players looking for a team just to come out to Australia to play because they see the NBL 1, you know, they're posting highlights every weekend. You know, some of those highlights go viral in the basketball, you know, in the international
100.
community. A lot of other, you know, divisions around the world, whether it be, you know, professional Division 2 or high-level leagues, look at the NBL 1 as well, because the NBL 1 for Europe and America and Asia is more so like a summer league, even though it's winter here, but it's a summer league. So imports and local players that want to go international can build their resume in the NBL 1. And it's a solid resume because even though here we call it semi-pro, the rest of the world look at this as a pro league. And it's a really high level second league as far as competition goes. You know, some countries have second leagues and they're called professional leagues, but they don't have the type of talent that's being played in the NBL 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's I love it. I love playing here. I love the atmosphere that the games brings. I even noticed there's more fans at games. You know, a lot of parents that I've talked to, you know, say they love coming to NBL 1 games more than they like going to Perth Wildcats games just because of it's smaller. They're up and close to the action. The kids can
it's more personal.
It's more personal.
Especially like a lot of the clubs through whatever the coaches, the players doing it on their own or them being recruited into it through the club as part of their contracts, is a lot of the players give back.
Right. Exactly.
So like you guys have all given back at least a little bit in terms of coaching younger kids. You guys still do like constantly. And you've got 2 little girls to raise to Olympians, so good luck. I see you there.
Yeah, man. So
we'll see.
I think that giving back is awesome, and that provides that kind of personal relationship when they come to see the NBL 1 teams. It's like, oh yeah, that's Justin playing. Yeah, go Justin, go Justin. And then you're on the court on Tuesday next week training the kids. Oh, Justin, you made this awesome play in the game. Can you teach me how to do that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, not yet, kid. We got to learn this first. But like that's just how it is, and I think that provides a really good community around it.
Right. And I think what's going to also make it big, like there's a lot of sponsorships coming into like the league. Like, I mean, Shaq, you play a lot of places. Same with you there. What other league, you know, if you get Player of the Week, you get $150 from Foot Locker? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might have some incentives in your contract depending on where you play, what country you play in. But like, to me, that's not even a part of, per se, I guess, your contract. But like, if you do good, they're giving you an incentive for going out, playing hard and playing well. And that's pretty much a free pair of shoes from Foot Locker. Yeah.
Which, for somebody trying to make it as a professional athlete, you're going through shoes.
You're going through
like, let's
shoes,
be real,
man.
shoes don't last that long. Like, even as a coach, I go through at least 2 pairs a year.
That's what I'm saying. So
as a player, I
Can we rewind that and tell my wife that too? While she
you're in a separate situation.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, no, Theron's shoe collection is
more like
next level.
2 pairs
next
a month.
level.
There you go. We keep that on the down low. You know what I mean.
All right, so we're gonna move on to talking about Summer Jam. Like, unfortunately, I couldn't get there. I had in-laws over from the UK. Family comes first, but you guys all joined up, played on the same team down at Summer Jam. Did you do both the 3-on-3 and the 5?
Yeah.
Let's go 3-on-3 first. How was that?
Man,
it was fun.
It
was fun. You know, playing with guys that know how to hoop and know how to play that kind of. The rule set for 3-on-3 is different. You know, I guess a lot of people still think that conventional 3-on-3 mindset is, you know, check the ball up, you know, let's play it, you know, kind of break down a guy for like 25 seconds. But, you know, having that quick, is it 12 seconds?
12 seconds.
Yeah, 12 seconds shot clock, get it out, go.
No checkup.
No checkup, just go and rebound and go. It's fun. You know, it was real fun. So that's the good thing about it. But, you know, the other boys can talk about it.
No, I think we did well. It was just that one game caught us in the quarterfinals. We, you know, it was pretty physical. I know the refs were they were a bit younger, so lacked a bit of experience. But
thin skin.
You know, if we're out on the concrete or whatever in the street, we just got to play, right?
Yeah.
So it would have been nice to have a bit more freedom in terms of that, because it is a physical game. The fast-paced, it's physical. China was like,
I watched a couple of your games.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff from China.
Just getting hit in the face, and it's just like play on. And that's the thing. It's so quick, as you say. It's out the net. Yeah. You don't have time to complain. You don't have time to celebrate. You don't have time for anything.
No, if you're complaining, you're getting jammed on.
Yeah, literally. And I think jammed on. Just to put it in perspective, how fast paced the game was, we had one game. And I played pretty well in this game. I think I hit 6 threes in the game, but the game was over in 2 minutes, 48 seconds.
What? Yeah. Were you playing to 21?
21.
Yeah.
It was that quick. And like we were just
So for all those young hoopers out there, that it takes 5 minutes to make 10 free throws. Yes, just fact check yourself and just keep working. Because once you get to the level these guys get to, you got to hit those shots. They got to go down, and you got to be quick. You got to make good reads.
We had so over in Queensland, the 3-on-3 community is pretty big. So we got a lot of FIBA kind of sponsored tournaments. So like, you know, you get your points to get your ranking in there.
Yeah.
And there was one tournament we played where like the tournament was just so fast. And we had guys like Brendan Tees was out there playing against us. And, you know, he was hooping. But, you know, it takes literally like, you know, 5 quick shots and then the game changes.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
and I don't know about you guys, but I felt like I got gassed quicker playing the 3-on-3 than playing the 5-on-5.
Oh, 100%.
You know, you're just out there, and it's I love that. You know,
There's
I love that kind of thing.
room for break. It's just go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But just to put it in perspective, Theron, while I was over in China, 3 guys came over from the East Coast. So it was, I think Brendan Tees put the team together. They went to the Taiwan Challenger. So it was Tees, Jerron Jameson, and Dylan Stith was there. And as you know, those are good NBL 1 players.
Yeah.
These guys got killed.
Yeah.
Bruh.
They went to Taiwan and they played against, I don't know if both teams were Serbian or one of the teams was Serbian.
They're crazy.
It was a wrap. Like they just looked
Yeah.
like they couldn't even play.
Yeah.
So just to put it in perspective, this is why I'm saying like we need to really elevate the level of basketball across Australia and filter into these new styles of basketball.
Yeah.
The Serbians, more specifically, but Europeans
The Eastern
overall,
Europeans on that kind of street ball 3-on-3 style of basketball.
way ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
It's that mind state too that they have. Like they're just
they killers.
killers. Yeah.
Killers, literally,
Yeah. Lithuanian housemates at university. And
Yeah.
I think so
They
much
mess
of
with
3-on-3 is like it's basic fundamentals like
Yeah.
shooting, passing, cutting,
Quick
you
reads.
know, quick read. So if you don't have those type of things, if you're like just want to go 1-on-1 or you just those type of things in 3-on-3, what I've learned, this is my first time playing 3-on-3 was at Summer Jam at this type of level. So what I learned, it was like you got to make quick decisions, and the teams that really won had guys that can knock down shots from the perimeter and guys that just really knew how to make those reads where backdoor cuts, you're making that pass, or you're setting the screen, that guy could come up, roll, catch, and shoot right away. Because as like Shaq just said, it's a quick game. Like games could be over like that, and you don't have time to second guess or make 2 to 3 moves really.
It's like one action,
play.
you got to score off one action, one pin down, one ball screen, you got to score off it.
In China, I had a Slovenian import on my team, and he represents Slovenia in 3-on-3. Every time he came off a pick, it was like if you don't switch, he's going and scoring, and if you do, it's hitting the roller and it's done. That's
it's over.
Yeah,
It's one of those things where there's no hesitation. You know, it's I like to call it a confidence game.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a lot of confidence in your ability and in your teammates, you're going to be really successful. And I tell that with a lot of people. You know, I guess the 5-on-5 basketball aspect is that when you come off a pick, you can kind of reject it, bring it out, look at other ring, rescreen it, and everything like that. But 3-on-3, you have to either take it or you're either pulling up or you're going. You know,
There's no time for that. 12-second shot clock's very quick.
And another thing that I noticed too is that the biggest thing for like, especially me being a shooter, is receiver spots.
Yes.
3-on-3.
Oh my God.
You get a lot of people that are like, okay, I'm just going to stay in the one spot, but you got to really work on your teammate. If he's coming over there, relocate, setting, and going.
Find those gaps.
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, those receiver principles are important for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that really highlights it in 3-on-3. And if you guys want to ever look at anything, watch the USA with Jimmy Fredette.
Yeah.
It's crazy, his footwork and what he was doing on that 3-on-3. He's really nice.
Fredette is one of the GOATs, bro.
Jimmy Fredette, nothing but net.
He is a bucket.
Yeah, and he works well with that.
Yeah. Shay, you took part in the dunk contest.
I did.
So I was at last summer's one.
Yeah.
So I know there's some stuff. I was at last summer's one, and the energy didn't feel right last year. Like the crowd didn't seem hyped. Like I'm watching some stuff. I'm holding my daughter, so I can't get hyped up, but can't throw a 2-year-old around too much. But there's some there's some big dunks and stuff happening. But this year, from all the clips and the highlights and the videos, seeing like the energy around. Even the whole event, but especially like the dunk contest, the energy looked really good.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, quick shout out to Jamal and Thomas and Two-Way.
Yeah, man.
They, with whatever resources they had, they put together an amazing event. And I know Jamal works so hard behind the scenes to do all of this, like to get all these. We talk about sponsorships and stuff like that. Even I was in the West Australian they did an article on us. That wasn't Summer Jam who did that. That was two-way. That was Jamal going out of his way to use his connections to get us exposure. So big shout out to them because they're obviously, you know, giving us this platform to perform on and create this atmosphere and this vibe. But yeah, it was really good this year. Obviously, right in the city, we had like people that didn't really know about the event are still going to come and pass by, stand up top and have a look at it. And then people that did know, they kind of prepared themselves, like they blocked out their weekend so they could come watch, and people knew when the dunk contest was, and you saw it how it was, like everyone was around, and it was just like a crazy atmosphere. Obviously, before the dunk contest, they came up to us and they said, "Do you mind if Guy jumps in?" So Guy's a frequent flyer, right? And he played with us in the 5-on-5, and shout out to him. Dinner is on him this weekend. I'm going to send this clip to him. I already messaged him. I said, dinner's on you this weekend because you won here and there. That's like $6,000. So you're buying dinner. But it was good to have him, man. And as I said, it's about the atmosphere, right? That was just such a dope event to be a part of. And, you know, if we could get everyone hyped up like he did. Yeah. And I know they even got hyped up for my dunks this year. So.
Yeah. We like that. We like that.
Crazy,
so, it was really good.
Can't lie though, he can fly.
He can fly.
He can fly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Professional dunker.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you see what he did yesterday?
No,
I think probably his best one. He did at East Bay, but he jumped over. So Jay Clark, the jumper, was holding the ball up here. Yeah. And so he went East Bay over a motorcycle.
With someone on the motorcycle.
Damn.
Someone was on the motorcycle.
That's crazy.
Yo, he's crazy.
Love the creativity in that. That's amazing.
So, he's good people as well. I got to, obviously, we went to that Wildcats game after the 3-on-3, and I was with Guy at the game, and we got to chop it up a little bit. And obviously, he had some pretty cool experiences. Yeah. You know, he played with Allen Iverson and stuff. So, yeah, man, these events, you get to network. You get to meet these cool people. So it's a lot of exposure. And as you guys know, with the travel that we've done with basketball, you meet so many great people. All of us here in this room are connected because of basketball. So and these events just enhance those, you know.
How many events that, you know, around the world that Jordan Brand's a sponsor to?
Right. Yeah.
Like there's only one other one that I know of, and that's Rocket Park. You know, that's the only other street ball one that I know off the top of my head. Oh, and Q54 in Paris. Those are the two only ones. So, you know, that's a shout out to Jamal and all that, and how they were able to get that connected in there and everything like that.
And Eamon and Daniel as well over in Melbourne. And obviously you guys saw the stuff from the event this weekend. They did some good things over there.
It's crazy. So shout out to all of them. Yeah. Every single one.
It's awesome. We'll be back next year. We need revenge.
Need some vengeance.
Oh man.
Yeah. Need some of that.
Well, actually, what happened on that Sunday? Because we didn't actually get to talk about the 5-on-5.
Let's go. 5-on-5. What happened?
The first game we played against, they were talented.
Yeah.
Right. A couple Senators boys in there. They gave us a good run, and we ended up losing that first game, and then we kind of just came together and we said it's not going to be like how it was last year or how it was yesterday with the 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Like we need to make some noise now.
Yeah.
So we ended up beating. How many more games did we played? 2 more games in the regular.
I think we played 3. Three. So we went 3. We beat those, and then we went into the quarters and then the semis, was it? Or was it just semis?
No, I think it was semis. So after we had won that third game, we went straight into the semis against Benar. Yeah. And obviously Benar was
the champs last year.
Were the champs last year. So it was a tough game, man. It was physical. We were going, but
that was fun though.
Yeah. We ended up winning that one. It was really like it was a crazy game. We only ended up winning by 3 points.
That game was physical. I mean, both the last 2 games were crazy physical, almost borderline football, basketball.
I know.
Professional wrestling league.
But it was fun, man. The atmosphere was great. Like, everybody was so hyped. It really... Shit,
yeah, that Benar game was fun to be a part of.
Yeah, bro.
And then, obviously, the last game, we...
went down by 1.
No, it was 3.
What was it, 3?
3. It was 3 in the end.
Yeah.
But we...
Up by 10.
I mean, you know, it's a bit of PTSD right now, but
we
were up for 3/4 of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good ball players on that team.
Yeah.
On that other team. But, it was just unlucky. And, they did their thing.
They hit some threes down the stretch.
Yeah.
They got the last run.
Yeah, that's it.
He did.
They got the last
He did.
round. Basketball's a game of runs.
I don't know about you guys, but that Binard game was like, I don't know, like, it's something about me, like, it's good to have people cheering you,
Yeah.
but, like, having people, like, cheering against you.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, especially if you're
I
playing
love
against
that.
the Binard guys, because they
I love them.
force.
I love
It's
them.
awesome.
You know, I love them.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Binard, but, you know, I remember there was this one play where I hit a 3 in the first, and, like, you know, everyone was just quiet, you know.
Yeah,
everyone just
yeah,
went
you
quiet.
love that. No,
And I love that.
That's
I
the
love
best.
that. You know, I love that. And
Silence
then
the
all of a sudden
gym.
they go down there and they hit a nice little layup, and then everyone goes crazy. And, you know,
Yeah.
you got Shaq coming down, yamming it on someone. You got Jake coming in and just crossing up people, and everyone's quiet. And then, you know, it was fun, man. Like,
That's awesome.
you don't get that atmosphere often.
No.
Anywhere, not even at an NBL one level.
It almost
sometimes.
needs to be like that kind of atmosphere comes with the whole street ball vibe. The
Oh,
whole
man.
and one,
Yeah.
street
Yeah.
ball, all of that. Like,
Yeah.
The only time when I've got
Well-
that vibe playing is country teams. You know,
Country team,
like back
okay.
in Queensland, we had Gladstone, and Gladstone was like, you know, they hated every team that came from the city. You know, they hated you, and you know, we got out there, and you know, we ended up we were down by 10, ended up coming back and winning, and I was talking trash to the crowd and everything, and they're booing you. You know, you're
Nice.
getting booed. They're just about to throw things at you. You know, and that's why I love that Binard game, because you know, you had guys that were just like, and they playing hard. They're playing hard. They wanted to win that game.
Man,
And, you know, that was my.
Binard has great chemistry, man. Obviously, like, those guys play together all
Yeah.
the time in various different leagues, and they win. So
Yeah.
we had to really lock in because we got an early good lead, but then they start to make
some runs.
a last run. But then we made some key stops, some key buckets at the end that kind of solidified it.
Just shout out to Binard there and what they're doing.
Yeah, shout out to
for
Adam
sure.
Desmond and,
Yeah.
and the whole Binard team.
Yeah,
Like
that was a great
what they're
job.
doing for not just the Aboriginal community, but the basketball community as a whole. They
Yeah.
are leading by example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely underfunded for years and years and years. The growth is incredible, and they are setting the standard. Like if they're able to do it with their resources, no one else has any other excuses.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually messaged Desi. I got a lot of love for Desi. Not many people know, but back when the Super Six was a thing,
Yeah.
Binard was the only team that gave me a run.
Oh, okay.
And from that season, playing with them in that Super Six, I was able to get a contract for SBL.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
And you know,
nice.
that was because of that opportunity he gave me. You know, I was able to get really far in my basketball career so far. And now to see kids that don't necessarily have those connections now have that somewhat of a pathway into basketball is just amazing.
That's
you know,
awesome.
That's,
Man. I didn't realize that. That's incredible.
yeah, you know, so
And he's doing good things for, as you said, the whole basketball community. I
Everyone.
had a chat with him at Warwick a couple of weeks ago, and they are not just taking care of Indigenous kids. They
Everyone.
want everyone to come in. Their
Everyone.
tournaments are open to everyone.
Yeah.
And they just want to build basketball. So I really hope that they go through that process that they need to go to and get an NBL one team, really.
yeah.
They will.
So
I reckon it's just a matter of time and all the paperwork
that's it.
and all this roadblocks and stuff, all the people put in the way to make things hard.
I think as long as the basketball community itself and other people are willing to stand with them,
Yeah.
it's going to go so much. You know,
Yeah.
you might not be there signing the papers and doing all that
No.
hard work, but knowing that they have people from all communities, all races, all ethnicities and everything like that behind them, it's a win. It's a win.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
And watch out when they do come into the NBL.
Watch out.
Seriously though,
They're gonna be
seriously,
crazy.
because they're so open and inclusive to
Yeah.
everyone. Watch
Yeah.
how many good players are going to be on that team, and I won't be
100%.
surprised if that first season they come out and win a championship, because I would
Yeah.
go play for them.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'll take it a step
100%.
further. Watch how the style of play is completely different to every other NBA.
Yep,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely modern basketball, fun, energetic. It's beautiful.
Man, I remember playing with them.
I've played against them.
Oh man,
Yeah.
playing with them, like playing against them sucks, but playing with them is so much fun.
Yeah.
I've never had so much fun playing basketball
Yeah, it's good
with them, man.
times.
Yeah,
It's good times.
yeah.
I think that is a great note to wrap this up on. Nice,
Yeah.
positive vibes. Beautiful, gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming in and joining me.
Yeah.
Good luck on adventures where we're taking back over east, staying right here, getting in work.
Yes, sir.
Just,
Shout out Coach Morley basketball.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah,
All
plug
right,
it.
we will. We've got another baby on the way, but we're going to try and do a bunch of these this year.
Hell yeah, congrats.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I'm in the two girl
Hey.
fold.
Hey.
Are we good?
Two-girl fold.
Yeah, we're going to get some more sit down with coaches going on this year. This podcast space is amazing. So shout out to the Hen House Studios. Appreciate us being able to come through. Until next time, that's a wrap. We're out.